Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Blockthrasher Daily Morning Crypto Update, where we are shattering the complexities of crypto with news, commentary, analysis, and education. Every single day, I bring the most important cryptocurrency news stories to you so that you don't have to go find them yourselves, so that you can make the best possible investment decisions. If that sounds like something, what am I saying? Of course that's something you need. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, turn on notifications, and keep coming back every single day. Let's jump right in to our word of the day, WOTD. The word of the day is Grubstake. Grubstake. It is money or other assistance furnished at a time of need or of starting an enterprise. So if somebody wants to start up a new company, they need to grubstake that operation. They need to get some money or some assistance to get that thing going, to get it off the ground. Grubstake, good word, I like it. Let's go out and let's grubstake something. It also sounds like something you could eat, doesn't it, right? Grubhub, grubstake, get some grub, have a steak. Different spelling of steak. Anyway, spelling of grubstake is Grubstake. All right, moving on. Let's get into the market overview and take a look at where prices sit this morning. Now, the market as a whole overall has been trending sideways. It's been up and down a little bit the last couple of days, but for the most part, prices are pretty stable right now. Bitcoin is currently $48,333. It is down 2.7% in the last 24 hours, but up 5% for the last week. Ethereum is at 1,504, down 4.96%. Also up on the week though, just over 3%. Cardano's turning around a little bit currently, up 1.5% overnight. It's at $1.17. That's at a 7.49 increase though for the last 7 days. Cardano looking good. Now Binance Coin is down 4.87%, currently $227.30. That is a 2.8, almost 3% increase though for the week. Polkadot saw a nice week overall, up 13, close to 14% for the last 7 days. However, it is currently trending down 7% to $33.67. XRP is up 1.81%, and that is up 8.73% in the last 7 days. Now, we have seen the Ripple executives fighting back against the SEC, starting to make statements, things such as the SEC didn't properly warn them or exchanges or anyone that it might be an unregistered security, and just a lot of other things that they've been saying. So that is going to be something interesting to watch, and we will see what happens with that. Of course, the best case scenario for the cryptocurrency space as a whole would be if the SEC drops their charges, and that could happen. We'll watch that and see. Uniswap killed it in the last 7 days, up 22%, actually close to 23 at 22.88. It is currently $27.16, and that's even with the 5.6% decrease over the last 24 hours. Litecoin is up for the week for 4.5%, but down in the last 24 hours, close to 4.5%. It currently sits at $178.19. And we do know that Grayscale purchased a lot of Litecoin. In fact, they purchased an amount equal to 80% of the entire Litecoin tokens that were mined last year. So quite a big purchase as they're setting up that Litecoin fund. Chainlink is up 9.5% for the week, but down 7% in the last 24 hours. It is currently $27.32. Stellar XLM was another one that Grayscale has made a big purchase of. It is up 7.94% in the last week, currently down just over 3%. Sitting at 40 cents. And Dogecoin has just been holding steady. I mean, it has not really moved away from the 5 cent. Right now it's 0.049, so it's almost 5 cents. It's been there like stuck for days now. XEM has, it's sort of an outlier here with Theta, which is down at 18. Both of them up over 40% in the last 7 days. XEM is 70 cents and Theta is $4.30, but those two have broken out this week as top outliers, seeing some nice gains. Now, moving forward to our first story of the day. Jay-Z and Tidal and Square and Dorcey. So Dorcey, obviously CEO of Twitter and owner of Square, or CEO of Square, whatever his position is, has teamed up with Jay-Z and Jay-Z's company Tidal. This headline from Forbes says, maybe the Square Tidal deal is all about creating Jay-Z NFTs. It could be, but there also might be more to it than that. Let's see what they have to say here. A couple weeks ago, Jack Dorcey, the billionaire CEO of Square and Twitter, announced a new cryptocurrency initiative and a somewhat surprising partner. He would donate 500 bitcoins worth some 24 million or so to form a new endowment to back businesses working on Bitcoin-based tech. It would be called B-Trust, and it's got the little Bitcoin symbol for the B. And it would distribute its funds to firms in Africa and India. It would be called B-Trust. Distribute its funds to India and Africa, and joining him in the donation would be his friend Jay-Z, the billionaire rapper. Fascinating. Perhaps the endowment won't be the only crypto project the pair work on together. Square is buying Tidal, Jay-Z's music streaming service, valuing it at $450 million. It's something of a bargain hunt deal for Square. Tidal has struggled mightily to wedge itself into an industry dominated by Spotify, Pandora, and Apple, and its latest valuation is 25% than what Sprint valued the company in 2017 when it bought a third of it. A fairly clear sign Tidal hasn't lived up to its promise. So, what can a combined Square and Tidal offer to artists that a standalone Tidal couldn't? In a string of tweets announcing the purchase, Dorcey was actually pretty blunt about this. The new Tidal would focus on finding new ways for artists to support their work. This is exciting, guys. This is what we've been talking about over the last couple of weeks about royalty issues and musicians and artists, and how NFTs and cryptocurrency could just revolutionize that entire industry and allow them to fund themselves in a way that would be so much better for them, and also for their fans and for users, where we could support the artists that we like, and where they could release their art and their work and get paid for it in crypto, and cut out the intermediary, cut out the corporation, cut out the middleman that often sucks up so much of that value that gets created. Why would they not want to do that? And so Dorcey, being the brilliant businessman that he is, and obviously Jay-Z, one of the most, popular, famous, foremost, whatever you want, rapper and artist, with this Tidal company that he's built, a streaming, competitor to like Amazon streaming, music streaming platform, Amazon Music, and Spotify, etc. Why not bring these two together? This could be a fantastic thing. So Jay-Z was equally upfront. He said, "I said from the beginning that Tidal was about more than just streaming music," he wrote on Twitter, and 6 years later it has remained a platform that supports artists. Good stuff. We're going to have to keep an eye on this. This could be interesting for sure, definitely. Wow, you can just imagine having a streaming app similar to Spotify, but where you, instead of paying Spotify the monthly fee, right? You donate directly to, or you pay the artist directly, or it's done in crypto and then they get paid royalties based on that. And you could be done with NFTs. So NFTs bring a technological component to it that is incredible, because every time that piece of music is purchased, it can be tracked, and it can be done through a smart contract, and the artist can just automatically receive royalties for that. So good stuff happening here. All right, every day it seems like Michael Saylor is in the crypto news again, and that is because his company MicroStrategy just keeps buying Bitcoin, more and more and more Bitcoin. His hunger for Bitcoin knows no bound. On Friday, March 5th, Michael J. Saylor, co-founder, chairman, and CEO of NASDAQ-listed business intelligence company MicroStrategy, announced yet another BTC purchase. Just 4 days ago, Saylor announced that his company has purchased an additional 328 Bitcoins. Wow. For $15 million in cash at an average price of $45,710 per Bitcoin. All right, let's go Saylor. And Saylor is, if you haven't looked at some of his videos, I would recommend that you do that. He is one of the most articulate people that I have seen who talks about how it's just a no-brainer to get into Bitcoin. In fact, quite interestingly, he says that it even makes sense to incur debt to purchase Bitcoin, because the dollars that debt is denominated in are going to become worth less and less and less, while the Bitcoin becomes worth more and more. And anyway, I'll let you go check him out to hear his arguments in that regard, for sure. Moving forward, on to the next story. Grayscale's GBTC is in the headlines for a number of reasons, but this being the current 12% negative 12% premium on GBTC, the Bitcoin derivative that Grayscale sells. And again, our friend Peter Schiff, the perma-bear, the perma-cryptic of Bitcoin, has come out saying, let's find his quote. Prominent Bitcoin hater Peter Schiff immediately commented when the news was released of the 12% discount on the premium. He commented saying that investors are losing confidence in Bitcoin and could be dumping GBTC now to purchase gold. Now, he only hopes, if you don't know, Peter Schiff, his business is selling gold. So, the fact that he's been perpetually opposed to gold since the beginning, opposed to Bitcoin since the beginning, is not that much surprising. It's not that surprising because, people have been leaving gold for Bitcoin. It's becoming increasingly clear that this is the case. So anyway, with this story of the GBTC premium going down 12%, analysts have different views, and there's two opposing positions, and this one is being put forth by Peter Schiff, who is saying that people are losing confidence in Bitcoin, and that's why this is happening. We're going to look at the other argument in just a second here. Popular analytics company Glassnode has reported that the GBTC premium declined by 11.9% in March, further extending its fall from 10.6% the day before. On March 3rd, Bitcoin traded at 46.83 per share, and GBTC cost 41.25 per share, with the price of the latter having dropped further by today. The decline in an asset premium is considered a bearish sign by assets. So Schiff claims confidence in Bitcoin is falling. Euro-Pacific Capital CEO Peter Schiff has used this opportunity to take another jab at Bitcoin. In his tweet, Schiff stated that someone is unloading their GBTC and is desperate to do it if they are willing to sell at such a large discount. Besides, he tweeted that perhaps financial institutions are trying to back off from Grayscale's GBTC as they could be losing confidence in Bitcoin and are likely to be entering gold. Okay, we'll see. Here's the other argument. Oh, before we get to that, I wanted to point something out. This is the Grayscale site that I have pulled up. And in very small, very light letters and wording, I should say, with an asterisk, they state this. They say, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust does not currently operate a redemption program and may halt creations from time to time. There can be no assurance that the value of the shares will approximate the value of the Bitcoin held by the trust, and the shares may trade at a substantial premium over or discount to the value of the trust's Bitcoin. The trust may but will not be required to seek regulatory approval to operate a redemption program. So what does this mean? I've talked about this before. It is the problem with these trusts and with these derivative products. The same is true for Grayscale as is true for the CME futures that are sold on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, the CME, the Bitcoin futures and the Ethereum futures. Now, they claim to hold the underlying asset, and they may, but they're not redeemable. That means that you can't ask for delivery. You can't get actual Bitcoin or Ethereum in these trusts. In fact, they state that not only can you not get it, but they also, here's the point I'm getting at. I was trying to get ahead of myself in my thought, but the only way to verify, or that it is verified, that they actually even have the underlying asset is through an auditor. And so on the page just above what I was previously reading, it says that there's an independent auditor, Friedman LLP, and these auditors, this auditor for Grayscale, is the company that independently verifies that they're actually purchasing the Bitcoin. But anyway, it's just a side note. We do see even a lot of the institutional investors who purchase Bitcoin through Coinbase withdrawing that Coinbase into their own wallets. And the reason for that is if you don't have actual custody, you don't actually own the crypto. And most of these centralized sellers are not insured. There's no FDIC insurance or any kind of other insurance that they actually have that crypto and that you'll actually get that crypto. And so if they were to go out of business or some other kind of catastrophic event or anything, you would be out. So here's the other side, the other analyst's view of this GBTC negative premium situation. Record GBTC discount may spark 100K Bitcoin price rise, says an analyst. So instead of it being that people are losing confidence in Bitcoin, as Peter Schiff says, this analyst says, no, there's evidence and historical record to show that it may actually indicate that Bitcoin will rise to 100K. History repeating itself has the potential to spark a 2 to 4 times Bitcoin price run. Data covering GBTC premium suggests Bitcoin could be in for a 100,000 bull run next if a classic signal from institutions repeats its historical trend. In a tweet on March 4th, Mike McGlone, senior commodity strategist at Bloomberg Intelligence, said that those seeking clues about what lies next for Bitcoin should look at the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust GBTC. Negative premium could signal March to 100K. As Bitcoin fell to 43,000 and continued to linger below all-time highs thereafter, the so-called premium on GBTC flipped negative. This means that GBTC shares are trading below their so-called net asset price, NAV. Institutional buyers are able to buy at a discount. In times gone by, Such events have both been rare and a pointer for subsequent price upside. A negative premium was also observed in March of 2020. Isn't that interesting? Last year, same time. The start of the bull cycle, which has brought BTC USD from $3,600 to $58,300. That's significant. So last time we had a negative premium like this, Bitcoin was at 36,000 and it didn't drop down to 2,000 or negative zero. It went up to 58,300. Grayscale Bitcoin Trust discount may signal March to 100,000, he wrote. All right, well, we will see, right? But seeing opposing opinions. All right, real quick. Here are the biggest altcoin gainers of the week. Chili's up 146%. Engine Coin. And Chili's we talked about just yesterday, so I believe, or the day before, but I think it was yesterday. So if you want to learn more about that coin, it was Coin Highlight. And we talked about how they are coming to the United States and they're investing like $40 or $50 million and opening up an office. And if you don't know what Chili's is they provide sports teams with their own tokens, and then there's all types of rewards and other things that are done. And it's huge in Europe, and it's been very successful within the European soccer industry. And so they're bringing it to the United States, and they're going to try to partner with sports teams here in the United States. And it makes a lot of sense that that could just take off and go parabolic and do incredibly well, because it's a way, especially in these COVID-19 times where these sport teams are suffering because they can't have as many people into their stadiums and are losing money because of that. They can increase engagement of their fans and create all types of fun, engaging things for fans to do, and fans can also benefit from that because of all the DeFi type of stuff. And then Engine Coin is number 2. It's up 106%. And Engine Coin is the token that it's an Ethereum ERC20 token, but it is the first Japanese, approved by the Japanese government for in-game sales, transactions, sale of things like EFTs and game, in games you build items that you then can sell, whether it be weapons or property or these types of things, right? And then Theta Fuel is up 92%. Decentraland, another EFT type of game environment where you can go in and you can create properties and buy and sell land and these types of things, up 57%, Theta up 48%, NEM XEM up 45%, and Basic Attention Token up 43%. And I don't know if that has to do with Basic Attention Token or the Brave browser announcement that they're heading in a direction where they want to create a DeFi exchange, right, a DEX within Brave itself, which could be really a phenomenal thing. And we looked at that in a video a few days back as well, but they're doing well. So those are the top coins for the week. Now we're going to move on to some Cardano news. Cardano had something interesting happen this last week, and that is its correlation with BTC in the last 30 days turned negative. So what this means is that in the cryptocurrency market, we see that there's a correlation between most crypto coins and Bitcoin. When Bitcoin goes up, they go up. When Bitcoin goes down, they go down. I've talked about this often, and often when we see Bitcoin go up 5%, the altcoins will go up 10%, sometimes 15 or 20%. When Bitcoin drops 5%, the other coins will drop down 10 or 15%. So they're correlated, right? And there's been speculation, there's been hope actually by many crypto projects that eventually someday there would be a deleveraging of this, and it would become more like the stock market, where projects are evaluated individually, and you might have one stock go up 10, 20, 30% while the market's going down, and this type of thing, and vice versa. Well, that happened this last week. We saw, especially on one day, I think it was like the first or second, I don't recall the exact day, but the entire market was down 10, 15%, and Cardano went up like 20, 30, 40%, some significant amount. I don't remember exact number. And that's what this article is simply pointing out, in the last month, Cardano's correlation with Bitcoin has turned negative. This can be attributed to the recent development upgrades on the Cardano mainnet. The Mary upgrade was implemented on the 1st of March and transforms Cardano into a multi-asset network. Cardano's 50-day moving average is the support area to watch in March. In the last month, the digital asset of Cardano, ADA, has broken loose from the effects of Bitcoin. This is according to an observation made by the team at Skew that highlights a negative correlation between Cardano and Bitcoin in the last 30 days. The team at Skew shared this milestone via the following statement and accompanying chart demonstrating the anomaly seen with Cardano's correlation with BTC. Over the last month, ADA USD correlation with BTC USD dipped into the negative territory, an extremely rare occurrence for non-stable coins. And it's interesting. I think I was just mentioning yesterday that I've noticed of late that Cardano, it's not a stable coin, but it's been one of the most stable, non-stable coins, and they're pointing this out with some data on this chart. Cardano will drop, but it drops a lower percentage than the rest of the market, so it'll go down 3%, 2%, and obviously it's been hovering at the just the $1, $10, $15. Right now it's $1.16 right now, and so in the same way, it doesn't tend to rise as quickly or as much, and is just becoming a lot less volatile than some of the other cryptos currently. Now, whether that will continue to be the case going forward, who knows? But it is interesting. All right. In spite of this market downtrend that we've been seeing the last couple of days, 12,000 Bitcoin have been acquired at 46,686 at Coinbase as institutions keep accumulating Bitcoin. And I often said what happens is when the market goes down, the institutionals come in and they buy as retail panics and sells. This has happened over and over and over again throughout the history of the cryptocurrency market. And sadly, a lot of retail starts to pile in when the price is at the all-time high or approaching the all-time high. The market is in a bull. Then it turns and they panic. And if they would just hold instead of panic selling, they wouldn't lose. They would do well. But instead, they panic sell. I've had personal friends of mine. I remember just last year when Bitcoin was in the midst of this extended bull run, one of my friends bought Bitcoin at $9,000 and it dropped down to like $7,500 and they just panic sold it all. And then a couple weeks later, it was at 10,000, then 11,000, and they were like, "Oh, I feel so stupid." And they had called me and said, "What should I do?" when the price dropped. And I said, "Don't sell. This is what happens in the cryptocurrency market. It goes up, it goes down, it's volatile." But we know the long-term outcome is that it's deflationary. It's going to keep the government is creating more money. There's stimmy checks coming out and on and on. This was like in the middle of or at the very beginning of the COVID-1984 crisis. So anyway, enough of that. I think I've made my point. I digress. According to a recent tweet published by the CEO of crypto quant analytics service Ki-Young Ju, institutional investors continue to acquire Bitcoin while the correction is dominating the market and Bitcoin holds in the 46,900 zone. All right, good news. Institutionals keep coming in. And this is a reason why I think that this bull run might be different than the 2017 bull run. And we've talked about this a number of times. I mean, there's a number of reasons why I think this is different, but this is one of them, is that the institutionals just keep coming in and keep buying. And they've got very deep pockets, and they're typically buying these to hold, not to sell, to put into their funds and to hold. So Sushi swap. Now, a number of times I've talked about this issue of projects becoming blockchain agnostic, right? Interoperability, keyword of the day. Will Uniswap embrace other platforms other than Ethereum? Has been the question, and I've often said, if they do, look for Uniswap to just explode. I mean, it's already exploded. I mean, we saw Uniswap go from $3 to $6 when they had the initial release of the Uniswap token and did the airdrop, to $20, $30. Uniswap currently today $27.25. Now, Uniswap's number one competitor, which is seeing half the volume of Uniswap, is SushiSwap, which is a clone. And SushiSwap has done exactly what I've been talking about with Uniswap and what Uniswap should do. SushiSwap deploys contracts on 5 new networks. Top decentralized exchanges are exploring alternatives to Ethereum and high gas prices, with SushiSwap porting its platform onto 5 additional networks. On March 3rd, SushiSwap CTO Joseph DeLong announced the DEX had deployed contracts on XDAI, Moonbeam Network, Binance Smart Chain, Polygon, previously called Matic, and Phantom. DeLong noted Sushi is planning additional future deployments, including on Optimism. A Solana port is also under consideration. This is brilliant. This is fantastic. This is very good for the cryptocurrency space. It's good for these platforms that SushiSwap is embracing. The only crypto that this doesn't really particularly bode well for is Ethereum, because bridges are also being created on a lot of these platforms where these ERC20 tokens can be easily sent over to the Binance Smart Chain, to the Phantom Smart Chain. Those are 2 that have bridges already active. And if Ethereum doesn't get in gear and get ETH 2.0 out and solve the gas fee issue and the speed issue, these platforms, this is just another sign that these platforms are going to start to, as they are more competitive, capture market share away from Ethereum. But as from a user standpoint, this is great. This is a really, really good thing. And hopefully we do see this continue as a trend, and I'd love to see Uniswap go down this direction. And obviously eventually at some point in time we be seeing these DEXs embracing Cardano and Polkadot and the rest of these other platforms that are 3.0 level, very high transaction per second chains, many of them with sharding and smart contract that rival Ethereum's, in some cases potentially even better. So anyway, here's the SushiSwap page for those who are looking, and if you enter into the app, it's very much like Uniswap. But anyway, the other thing with this is Sushi is currently $16.44, and I think we could see SushiSwap price just take off with this, obviously, because as they're attracting those users of those other platforms, there will be fees that will be captured by Uniswap, just increasing the value of the platform. And they're attracting the user bases of those platforms, so it makes sense for SushiSwap. Anyway, enough about that. Moving on to the coin highlight of the day. This is another platform token, which is, I would put it in the class of the Cardano, Polkadot, Avalanche, Fathom, well, of course, Ethereum, Algorand. This one is probably closest to Algorand, just in terms of market cap and price and technology. Currently, Elron, which its token symbol is EGLD. It's ranked 35 in terms of market cap. It has a current market cap of $2,476,000. And it has a max supply of only 21,294,942 tokens. That's the total supply. Oh, I'm sorry. The max supply is actually 31 million. So not that much more than Bitcoin in terms of max supply. But that explains the $145 price. It's because the supply is so low. What is Elrond? Elrond is a blockchain protocol that seeks to offer extremely fast transaction speeds. They ran a test with their sharding technology, and they were able to achieve 263,000 transactions per second in a public environment with 1,500 nodes from 29 countries grouped in 50 shards. That is impressive. That's some insane speed. The project describes itself as a technology ecosystem for the new internet, which includes fintech, decentralized finance, and the Internet of Things, also known as IoT. Its smart contracts execution platform is reportedly capable of 15,000 transactions per second, 6-second latency, and 0.001 cent transaction cost. So incredibly cheap, very fast. It's an impressive chain. The blockchain has a native token known as eGold. We already covered that. And it is proof of stake. It has staking and rewarding of validators. Elrond was first announced in August 2019, and its mainnet went live in July 2020. So this is a relatively new token. Elrond was co-founded in late 2017 by brothers Benjamin and Lucien Minku alongside Lucien Trudeau as a solution to the problem of blockchain scalability, which they thought to be the most pressing problem facing the industry. Prior to Elrond, Benjamin and Lucien Minku co-founded MetaChain Capital, a digital asset investment fund, with Benjamin Minku serving as CEO and Lucien as Chief Technology Officer. The two also co-founded ICO Market Data, an aggregator of information around initial coin offerings. Benjamin was responsible for product marketing and community for blockchain platform NEM, so some good experience there from 2014 to 2015, in addition to being an early investor in projects such as Zilka, Tezos, Brave, and Binance. Lucien has additional experience as an information technology engineer and security specialist, having worked with Urinwork24, Seto, and Libel Systems. Trudeau is a serial tech entrepreneur who previously founded and served as CEO of Soft32. So the team, and I've looked at, they have a big, expansive team with a lot of experience and a lot of technical capabilities. The team looks good. All of that, I just went through that just to say the team looks pretty good. So what makes Elrond unique? Elrond describes itself as a blockchain platform for the new internet economy, decentralized applications, and enterprise use. Its main selling point is its high scalability, stating that it is the first blockchain network in which state, network, and transaction sharding have all been implemented. According to its economics paper, it seeks to build up its ecosystem. So obviously we're seeing this platform war occur, and we have the big boys, right, which are in the top 10. We've got Ethereum, Cardano, Polkadot in the top 10. Those are the four primary. I mean, those are like the seniors, right? And then you've got these freshman projects that, as we scroll down in market cap, are just vying for position. I mean, the top tier are as well, but in those we have platforms like Stellar XLM, which is obviously leading the pack. Maybe they're not a freshman, maybe they're more like a sophomore, right? And then we have some others which were older, launched earlier, and we sort of have a good handle, I think, on what's going to happen with them, where they're going to go. I'm talking about the Tron and EOS platforms, but then there are others that are up and coming and are definitely platforms to watch, and Elron would be one of those at number 35, Algorand at number 37, and Avalanche at number 44 in terms of market cap. And then Phantom is another one that comes to mind, and it's at 58. So between 58 and 35, this range within the coin market cap, we have these platforms, and Elron is looking to be a pretty solid option. Now there's a couple of things that they've done that are absolutely phenomenal, and I wish some of these other platforms would do this. And this is the Elron has a portion of their website called growth.elron.com, and they have all kinds of useful statistics here. They have a chart of the price, circulating supply, which is 17 million, staked supply 9,596,000, floating supply. They track user adoption, which currently is at 381,391, up 0.24%. There are staking metrics that you can look at. Usage, the daily transactions is at 10,899. Exchanges, Binance being by far the leader, but you can pick up the eGold token on Binance US, Bitfinex, which would be the Binance Global is the number one, then Binance US in number 2, Bitfinex number 3, and you got BitThumb, BitMax, Liquid, and OKX. Crypto.com, it is available on Crypto.com, and I don't think it's on Coinbase yet. So they even have a tab for awareness where they track Twitter mentions, and you can see there was just a spike on March 2nd, 40,000 Twitter mentions, and then Google searches. This is beautiful. It's like, let's do this on all of the projects. I'd like to see something like this for Cardano and Ethereum, and maybe some of this exists somewhere and I just haven't found it yet, but this was easy to find and something nice that they're doing. Now, here's the only negative thing that I found in my just quick, I didn't do a deep dive. I haven't done extensive research on Elron yet, but in my quick, brief look into it, it's the staking. The staking has a really great return, 20%, something in that range. There it is, minimum. But the minimum, here's the issue. The minimum is 10 eGold with up to 20% APR. So at the current market price of $144, you have to put 10 in. We're looking at close to $1,500, which obviously makes it a little bit prohibitive for a lot of people. And opposed to that, or different, what's the word I'm looking for? Algorand is one of the best staking platforms I've seen. Now the return is less, it's 6%, but you can stake with any amount of Algorand. There's no minimum. You just throw it in the wallet and boom, it automatically starts staking, generating rewards. I've never seen a more simple system. It's fantastic. Cardano is also incredibly easy, not as easy as Algorand, but you don't need any. I think the minimum amount is 5 Cardano or something, so $5, anybody can afford that. You throw it into the wallet, you go into the staking and delegating tab, you pick a delegation pool, a delegator, and a staking pool, and you just click a couple buttons and boom, you're done. Super simple, easy. This is the only prohibitive thing I see right now with Elron, is if you want to jump in and start staking, you got to throw down a pretty good chunk of change. But other than that, this project looks really solid and definitely one to keep on your radar. Okay, well, that's a wrap. I think that will close it for the day. Thank you so much for your time. As always, please be sure to go to blockthrasher.com and sign up for a free membership, or if you want to help support my research and work, you can pick up a paid membership for $5 a month, and that will give you exclusive access to things that will be released for the member community. And please be sure to follow on Twitter and check us out on Facebook, and you see all those links in the video screen, or can find them there at blockthrasher.com. As always, friends, remember it's a great day to earn more crypto. Love you all, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye now.